This is a chart for somebody who has been experiencing a lot of dry symptoms in his body. He lives in the southern hemisphere, so it's summer for him right now. Let's see what the chart shows. We're going to do a full diagnosis and try to look at all the factors that may be causing his symptoms. Here's the chart. The quadrant is signified by Jupiter. The diagnosis technique leads us to Jupiter's dispositor, Mercury. Mercury in Sagittarius tells us that this person has an excess of fire, so he has an excess of heat and dryness. Mercury in Sagittarius is hot in the 3rd degree and dry in the 4th degree, so it's a pretty severe imbalance. So there is heat accumulated in his body. He needs to remove that heat and become cooler. What could be causing that excess of fire? He has told me that in the last 6 months he began to smoke. Let's see if that could be causing this. The things that we smoke are represented by the ruler of our house 2, therefore Mars. It's in a close trine with Mercury, which is the cause of his problems. That's the first indication we have that the things he is smoking is causing the excess of heat and dryness to Jupiter. Well, the first indication of where this is manifesting is the lungs. Here we have Jupiter inside the 4th cusp of the lungs. Mercury is also a significator of the lungs, more specifically the alveoli. So we have an indication that the first place in the body that's getting too hot and too dry is the lungs. It's obvious, isn't it? It's smoke. So yes, that's the first place that gets dry. These 3 planets have a relationship to one or more of these houses. This excess of heat is upsetting other parts of his physiology. Jupiter is in a trine with Venus. Whatever Venus is, it affects Jupiter. Venus is here by Antician, opposing this cusp. So this leads us to house 3. Jupiter is also in a square with Saturn. So whatever Saturn does influences Jupiter. He said that he has tingling in his feet. His feet are signified by the ruler of house 12, which is the anatomy significator of the feet in the body. Saturn, therefore, signifies his feet. So it's a symptom that he experiences. The chart is describing the situation. Saturn is opposing this cusp. Saturn is trining this cusp, is sextiling this cusp. It's squaring this cusp. It's trining this cusp. So whatever Saturn is up to, it has the potential of influencing several parts of his body. We can open another layer of interpretation in the chart and look at Saturn as the ruler of house 12, which is the house of our bad habits, or house of excess, or house of self-undoing, or addiction. I'm not saying that this is a particular addiction, but it's a habit that he's been doing for 6 months. And this habit, as we know, is not helping him. It's making him too dry and too hot. So it qualifies as the ruler of self-undoing. His habits, or perhaps excess, maybe he's smoking too much or too often, is upsetting him and is making his feet tingle and whatever else is happening to his body. Okay, so this is a congruent picture. This is common. We have bad habits, and the bad habits cause problems in our body and minds. Since we're looking at house 12 as self-undoing, and Venus is right on that cusp, it means that Venus is an integral part of how this self-undoing is manifesting. Exercise is an integral part of routine, so some kind of exercise is required for every person, regardless of which elemental imbalance they have. He also told me he's been spending a lot of time in the sun recently. That goes very well with excess of heat and house 3. The fact that Venus is the natural ruler of fun makes the chart even more eloquent. He has too much fire. He needs to get this fire out. So some degree of exercising is good. Swimming is good. If we take Venus as the exercise, this is telling us that either he is exercising too much or exercising too little, or he has the wrong type of exercise, or it's not consistent enough. Like he exercises 1 day a week and then skips several days, so there's no consistency there. So if this person wants to heal from these symptoms or whatever else is happening in his life, in terms of health, his exercise regimen needs to be addressed. He needs to take it as a medicine and then do it properly. And this needs to be addressed too, because the smoke is making him too hot. And the chart actually suggests that he should either decrease or stop smoking, because Mars is conjunct Uranus by Antician. What's the prognosis here? Jupiter is applying to trine Venus. So this game that his house 12 and him are playing will continue. Another thing about his condition is that Mercury is in a mutable sign. So whatever is happening is something that comes and goes in his life in cycles. He may stop smoking and then he may begin smoking again. His feet is going to stop tingling, but some other part of the body will tingle, or the feet will tingle again, and so on and so forth. This is what a mutable imbalance shows. Saturn also trines this cusp. It's the liver, gallbladder, and the heart. What we have here is a picture of a systemic issue. It's not just the foot tingling and the sensation of dryness. There are several possible organs or systems involved in this. Jupiter is here by Antician. So the liver or gallbladder or the heart or pancreas are definitely being afflicted by this excess of fire. And it will probably need to be addressed in some way. Mercury is also the natural ruler of nerves. It's possible that there is a nervous system component to what's happening. Finally, there's another option for Saturn. It rules the next sign from the 10th. Jupiter signifies the querent. So any treatment that he may be undergoing, and that includes supplements, herbs, psychedelics, whatever, any of those things that he takes therapeutically is signified by Saturn. There is a possibility that interacting with the things he's smoking is part of what is causing his health problems. To learn more about traditional medical astrology and how it can assist us in healthcare, check out the links in the description and follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. Till next time.